Did you poop? No. No. Are you sure? Because I'm fucking looking at your diaper right now, and I can see shit.
I have something to confess. This was my favorite movie in like 2000.
Okay.
I watched it at least a dozen times, and I'm sad to say, after I watched it again, I hate myself.
Because you
still
love it so much?
Oh, because I loved it so much.
I think you should
Love
see yourself
or
out.
love?
Oh yes, I should see myself out on this
Well,
one.
that's it. That's the whole podcast.
That's it.
This podcast, we're just ripping on it for like 20 straight minutes. He's quiet in the corner and just goes, guys, this is my favorite movie. I'll see myself out.
Just feel like John Travolta gets me.
When you are in your mama's teat, I was being trained to rule the galaxies.
I think I like the first few like minutes of the movie set up the whole fucking thing. So the first
Grunting,
fuck.
because we immediately regress back.
Well, let's talk about the story for 1 second. It has like 1 second. Let's talk about it for just a fucking minute. Just the first 3 minutes of
I
the
swear
movie.
to God, if you say an hour next.
So like the movie starts, they give it like the premise of the backdrop of the movie. Within like the first fucking minute of footage, there's really terrible dialogue. The main character, Barry Pepper's character or whatever, he fucking comes down a mountain on a horse. His father's dead, and there's a fucking voiceover of him screaming that doesn't sync with his mouth. That fucking kicks me straight in the balls when I see it. Like, can't possibly fucking ignore that. Kills me so hard. So I knew that the movie was going to be really great that way. But the thing that also hurt me the most was how, for some fucking reason, like, it would embarrass George Lucas. There were so many screen wipes where it just opens from the middle. And I'm like, why though? For what fucking reason?
I think that entire thing that you just described, where he came and discovered that his dad was dead, I think they were trying to emulate A New Hope when he found out his uncle was dead. It was the same thing, because it had the same kind of feeling, the way that it was filmed.
And even the wipe.
And then the wipe. Yeah. They had the crazy Star Wars wipe.
Fucking so bad.
Yeah.
What year was that again? 2000?
2000, yeah.
Did they just reboot Star Wars then? Like with the VFX?
So,
Yeah.
with like worse effects.
1999 was Phantom Menace.
So maybe they were trying to start a new dynasty. Duck Dynasty.
What did you just say?
Tuck Dynasty.
What did you think I said?
Don't play games with me.
Don't play mind games.
Quit playing games with
See,
my...
you were bothered by that offset and that scream.
Yeah.
What was bothering me was they kept saying piece of cake. Like they knew what fucking cake was.
Right.
Right? How?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe piece of cake was like the expression they use, you know, when we say pick up the phone and our kids are like, what the fuck does he mean pick up the phone? Or hang up the phone, that's the one.
There's that one, which is easier to explain because
Welcome to the party.
at least the humans were humans. You know.
Right.
When the Psychlos are calling the Earth a crap hole, that's a human vernacular. How did they pick that up in?
Well, hold on. It gets so much fucking worse, right?
But that's just the tiny ones that were really bothering me.
Well, after they're done force feeding you that there's some relationship between the main character and whatever his love interest is supposed to be.
I think
she gives him a fucking, I don't know, like a bead or like necklace from his mother.
Oh, yeah.
Or some random shit, and that's like 10 seconds worth of story or plot development. But also the fact that the aliens are not aliens, they're a corporation.
Yes.
So they're not even really aliens. They're like, everything's about the aliens being a corporation. Let's not forget, fucking L. Ron Hubbard wrote this story, right?
Yeah, he wrote the book.
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book. That explains a lot right there.
Yeah.
There was actually supposed to be a second one to go along with this one.
Really?
Yeah, because it was only half of the book.
We should film it. I feel like we can
Can we
get
do it at
pretty
the same
close.
time as Dante's Peak?
Okay.
It'll be a crossover.
Yeah.
I don't like you very much right now.
Where a whole planet erupts because of corporate
I
money.
respect you a lot, but you're really hurting me right
Well,
now.
the parenting would be about the same. I'm pretty sure that they treated their kids are about.
Well, I think the theme of everything being like just a one big solid notch back then at par in terms of quality of the movie is what just keeps it going. At least it's consistent. I think the thing that really like set the movie tone for me was the way that all of the Psychlos guns look like they're 90s Nerf commercials.
When they shoot people,
The recoil ones.
Yeah. Yeah, they all look like they're like there's tennis balls being shot or blurred out when they're being shot at. Or the way that when they shoot out people's limbs, the limbs are gone. There's no blood or anything. It's just like a missing hand.
Cauterized.
Yeah.
You never actually see them blow up the cow's legs.
I was gonna
Kind of
say,
be like,
yeah.
It's like, see how great of a shot I am?
Yeah, the cow's legs just go flying off.
The cows go
like
flying, and the body just...
animal.
I got him.
Go on.
No?
No?
That was every other scene.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have enough leverage to go on further. Everything's...
I'll see myself out.
That was a quick one.
Is that
Yeah,
the safe word?
So bad.
Is that the safe phrase?
So
I'll see
bad.
myself out. I guess that's the end of the podcast. If I can pull the shoot pretty early.
So the whole aspect of like, okay, we accept that they can mine the gold. That's kind of like the whole thing at the end. So the thing
Right.
is, okay, the humans are mining the gold because they find Fort Knox
Right.
on some map somewhere in the learning gel thing.
Right.
No, it was in the library actually.
Oh, they send him to the
He got to the library
library.
that they never.
Mention or go
Bothered
back
to
to
read?
again.
Sorry, this was after he was dry fucked in the brain by that machine and
Yes.
learned all of their language skills and all of their history, but probably never would have learned English
No.
or how to read the English language.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. The grunting was the
But
explain.
he read it in a book.
Right in a book, and they
Constitutions of
somehow
every language.
I
Freedom.
was just about to say the scene where he's reading the Declaration of Independence and
Nick Cage comes out of nowhere.
steals it, runs away.
And he just picks the book up and he's like, "Are you fucking done?" And he throws the book on the ground and you're like, "Fucking America, bud. Oh shit."
He accepts that the humans could mine the gold and smelt the gold.
Yeah, perfectly into these
And
bricks.
not questioning the
biggie.
fact that, okay, well, maybe they did something else.
Fuck, they even numbered them. This is
Yeah,
great.
they're all, but I expect more. So you're going to leave them to their own devices yet again to
Right.
continue what they were doing, though you're not even questioning the fact that this has already been done. Then on the fly over, there's that tiny little reference of radiation. Tiny little reference of radiation. Of, oh, radiation's high. And immediately they go, well, you know what? Radiation will hurt them. It'll react with their atmosphere. Okay. From that little note,
Right.
we know that the radiation. So we're going to go and find radiation
Right.
to affect their atmosphere. They get all that stuff and get back to the dome that's apparently full of their atmosphere. They decide that they're going to need to bring everyone in and release them
Right.
to cause havoc. Instead of reducing that, oh, I guess they had to get rid of the main base.
Right.
Getting rid of the Psychlo, teleporting God knows some wormhole,
Yeah.
reacting with the friggin' nuclear bomb to react with their planet, yet they had to teleport there at the same time people were teleporting back. And then the guy whose brother's head got blown off decides that he needs to do the pulling of the trigger. I got lost.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a synopsis now.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, where the hell did it all of a sudden come up? I was like, oh, radiation, that will do it.
Well, I had some problems with the way, like, I mean, I didn't take the fucking movie that seriously. Like, I've seen it before. I knew what I was getting myself into, but not like as a semi-fully formed adult that understood things. Like back then, when was this movie come out? 2000? Like, what was I in 2000? I was like still trying to figure out that like bare boobs were real.
Like 10?
They were like dial-up boobs for me at that point still. So
I was 15.
you know. So
I had no excuse. I was
so
15.
so now watching it as like a fully formed adult and like even just like recalling the scenes in the movie where for some reason the whole planet, like the Psychlo planet, is all like it's a gas planet. That's what it seems like. It's like a weird gas planet. And there's like this big like 9-inch nails-esque industrial fucking chutes blowing fire up all over the place. And then they go to the planet and they let a bomb off and the whole fucking thing goes up like a gas chamber.
tinderbox.
I'm like it's the whole planet, their whole species is the same weaknesses as a gas station. Like somebody could just light up a fucking cigarette and everybody would die. So I'm like, what the fuck?
It was the radiation specifically.
Oh, sorry. It was the
Yeah.
radiation that set off the chain reaction
Yeah.
and all the explosions.
Yeah.
And
They tried to force that War of the Worlds, where the War of the Worlds all of a sudden everyone dies off because of cold.
Right.
Like, oh, the aliens, they can't affect the cold. The bacteria killed them off. Well, yeah.
Right.
That's kind of how they try to end it. It was like, you know what? Shit, we got to figure out how to get rid of these people.
Right.
Let's just go radiation. They avoided the radiation areas. And It was like an afterthought of them going, well, crap, we have to wait for them to win because, they can't just die.
Also, like the timeline of things seems really weird because it's like, isn't the underscore of the story a tale from the year 3000
Yes.
or something, or a saga from the year 3000?
Yes.
And it's like the timeline's from 2000 to 3000. So for 1,000 years, they didn't figure out how to get rid of all the fucking nukes on the planet, but they wiped out their entire defense system in, was it 9 minutes?
Yes.
Fucking Travolta, man.
That's a bed shitting if I've ever thought of one. If their only fucking weakness was the one thing that they neglected for 1,000 years.
That's a bad fucking move on his part.
Does it also not concern you that they trained the horse riders, the guys that kind of ran in, to fly Harrier jets?
Well, I was just right.
In a matter of hours, that now they're able to expertly maneuver
They had a
Harrier
learning
jets.
machine. I don't know if you were paying attention.
So sorry, did the learning machine dry hump its way into all their minds? Because I feel like I blacked out during points of this movie where I didn't see them getting trained.
They were actually just at an Air Force base, and there was a simulator. And that's how
It was just
learned.
operating. It was
Yeah.
just good to go.
Yeah.
It was ready to go.
It was fine, yeah.
Because I remember
There's power
Because
and
all
everything.
planes that
Right.
are 1,000 years old
Right.
will operate perfectly when you turn
Right.
them over.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
American hardware right there.
What's that?
Freedom.
What's that fucking wrestler's name? Was the Warrior? There's one.
Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. So I look up at the screen, and the fucking Ultimate Warrior is flying a Harrier jet and taking people down like dogfight style. And that's when I was like, whatever, man. Like, somebody get me a Tide Pod at this point. That's fucking how I feel about this movie. So,
My confession is that I just learned a lot about the movie because I haven't watched all of it. I got about halfway through, and Becca asked if, do you want us to turn this off and watch something else? I said, no, we'll get to the end. How much time's left?
it's a long movie.
We were halfway through. I was like, nope.
That's a 2-hour
movie.
movie. Yeah.
It's a 2-hour movie.
I thought we had 15 minutes left of this bitch, and then she, nope, you got another hour.
You want to know why Travolta was probably, his character was just like neglecting everything? It's because he had that weird courtesan chick that he was trying to pull for.
Oh, the big long tongue.
Yeah, the one who wanted to lick his butthole all the time.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, she's got other assets. Blah. Oh,
I think if you have somebody willing to lick your butthole all the time, and that's what's on the line, that's where your success is, like, the motivation comes from, you're gonna overlook some shit.
wow.
You're gonna forget a few things.
Well, he had the King of Scotland with him the entire time, so he didn't have to do anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Whose
forgot.
daughter did he fuck?
Fucking Forrest Whitaker's in this movie.
He's a backup. He's a
I
second
clued
guy.
into that. I actually
A
didn't realize
phenomenal
that to the
actor
end.
like Forrest Whitaker
Yeah.
is put into this.
Yeah.
What favor did he owe to somebody to
Well,
do that?
he did like
It was like he joined the Church
Yeah.
of Scientology. Like, okay, this is your dues.
he was in Species a year before that. I'm pretty sure.
Would be
Which
Species
is
was
also a movie
99.
we should fucking do for this.
Species was
There's a
like
lot.
99,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
realized we should definitely watch that. Anyway.
Or The Fly?
No, Species
We're never watching The
No,
Fly.
or The Fly.
or The Fly.
The Fly. Ah.
Definitely The Fly.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that upset me about this movie, and like you just learn to accept it. I learned that from you, and
See, I do take it as I almost have to. You'd have to like sometimes these movies you have to go. Are the humans actually the villains in this one? Because really, they came over. The world is now destroyed.
definitely not.
Well, they were the villains to start with. The aliens were the villains, and then now the humans destroyed the aliens. And they've got nothing else to build their population. They just killed everybody and threw the guy to jail.
What did they call the humans? Man
Animals.
animals?
Yes, because dogs were more useful and more trainable, but they couldn't build anything generally.
Yeah, they're the
otherwise.
superior species.
Yeah, they were the superior.
I would have liked this movie more if they called them Manimals the entire movie.
Animals? Is it a rat brain?
So there's a
Me
missed
too.
opportunity, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a rat brain?
And I think I had a really hard time with the practical effects of them wearing the biggest fucking shoes ever made in the history of any character ever.
Oh, the stilts.
It was like they were all Mega Man.
And those pants,
But like poorly drawn. Yeah.
those massive
Yeah.
riding pants, they
Yeah.
had like the triangle legs.
Yeah.
Like, yay, I want one of those.
That was to hide the stilts that they had.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
And the way that their heads would go up into a cone, but they all
Yeah.
had like receding hairlines.
And dreadlocks.
They kind of all looked like Barbies that had been left in a microwave, but they were blown up to scale, you know?
What scale? Those things were huge.
Yeah, like they were like 9 feet tall. I think it has like a lot of good story elements to it, but it's like a movie where they tried to put too many things into one story, and that movie should have been like
45
It
minutes.
jumped around a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like I'm like, this movie's almost over.
In the scene where they tried to make it like where he became the leader, where he fought the guy for the food and then fed everybody the food out of his hand, I thought of you for some reason in that moment.
We all
And
eat at the same time.
I thought there's gonna be a day when Norm's gonna come in here with like coleslaw, and he's gonna hold it up and be like, "Follow me," and we're all gonna just not know what else to do other than take a little bit out of your hand and eat it.
Just out of confusion and a little bit of...
We all eat.
This
together.
one looks okay.
Yeah, basically.
I guess it's better than baby birding it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like right before that, I'm pretty sure Barry Pepper was also one of the main characters in Saving Private Ryan.
He was, yeah.
So it was like a whole bunch of people did like decent, reputable movies in the 90s, and Scientology was like, we're gonna fuck you up.
Scoop.
We've got a great script though. We're gonna fuck you up. They got Whitaker in there.
Yeah, as soon as I saw, because I heard a bunch of really bad stuff about this movie, like about how terrible it was, and then I saw Whitaker in that first scene that he was in, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Old
maybe
stank guy.
maybe he owed somebody
Who
money
made
too.
you do this?
Also, another thing that I heard is that while they were making this movie, The Matrix came out, and they must have been just enamored with how it was shot and like the color. So there's a lot of scenes that were really full of green because they were like, we need to do what they're doing.
Green and purple.
So they just started color grading and changing the light so that everything's green. And then there's a lot of the scenes that were pushed into
Yeah.
slow-mo that weren't filmed for it.
Actually,
I did catch that.
that was another thing I was thinking about during the movie, where every time something would fall, anytime anybody was getting shot at, it was like,
All
It
those
was
scenes
tough to
really dragged.
watch, yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that thinking about that. Fuck.
Yeah. So they saw slow-mo and they were like, we need to have it. And I'm like, well, we didn't film for it. Yeah, well.
Well, then just duplicate the frame.
And I think there was one other thing that was weird about it too.
The whole movie.
Oh, right. It was apparently there's a subtitle to the name of the film, but it's not. It's like it's in the graphic, but not like on the cover.
yeah, the saga. It's the saga of the year 3000 or something like
Right,
that.
but it's like not on the
yeah,
cover.
I don't think so.
It's almost like they rendered it before. I'm like, oh fuck it.
Yeah.
We're not. We don't have enough money.
We gotta
fix that.
deliver.
Just leave it.
Well, the entire studio went bankrupt, I think, after the movie came out. The franchise studios.
That's right. They also inflated
the pricing of it.
yeah, they
spent
inflated
a
the
ton of money.
budget to scam investors.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Scientology.
I was just about to say.
Well, it's more.
Started
Of,
early.
I laugh at that fact because it's kind of like that the play or movie producers. It's like, let's just make a really bad movie and we'll make more money from canceling it.
I also had a lot of questions about those fucking rebreathers they had the entire time.
Pardon?
Were they putting the same gas in it?
Yeah.
The ones that went on the outside of the nose.
the
and just
snoring,
help them breathe.
the snoring strips that they fucking wore that helped them breathe in methane or whatever the fuck it was.
And why? I don't know why they had to have 2 hoses.
Yeah. Or the fact that I don't think people breathe through their noses like most of the time, so they're just like,
You think people are just
Sucking
like
in so much.
Especially people that are.
little mouth breathers?
And they had like weird rat claw sausage fingers. Remember? Like there
Yeah.
were so many
Yeah, they
close-ups
did.
of
Travolta's hands with just like long rat claws. We should get you some fake nails and do some reshoots for that movie.
It's real fun. Like he goes to hold a bottle or something like that, and the rest of his fingers like that aren't actually attached are just hanging off. And you see his like little hand inside the glove.
My little sausage fingers, man. Stop being mean to them. They do their job.
I'll see myself up. That poor woman.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. I think I just want to forget.
I've been done with this for a while.
Let's talk a little bit about our sponsors.
Yeah.
Norm,
So, you might not know.
Ryan,
This somewhat coherent podcast is brought to you by
Terry.